The bento box of Odin's.
Yeah.
The bento box of Odin.
Except
And
you
what's
can't
really-
pull him out what he wants.
What's
Right,
really
yeah,
interesting,
right.
too, is Spawn of the Abyss can't really be affected by it. I mean, ideally, you'd think about it and it's like, great, if I banish this, then I never take the damage that was promised, right? But because it's hiding in the shadows, it's very sneaky, which surprises me because Spawn of the Abyss, in my impression, is huge. I don't know how something that big is sneaky.
That's true. Well, it depends on where you are, right?
Yeah.
Foggy area,
Well, if it's
swampy
invisible,
area.
literally invisible.
That's
Literally invisible?
Yeah.
Invisible.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we got Into the Looking Glass. That's a thing. Neutral Forest.
That's right.
How does this matchup play out here?
So, Neutral Forest, again, the Dragon-like Forest deck is really just looking to get to the late game. Lest, with his mid-sword deck here, is really just trying to push damage as fast as possible. This is definitely a deck, even more so than Neutral Haven, that if it doesn't get off to an early start, it's just going to fall off. But it always has that backup plan of Albert if it can get the opponent to the correct life points of like 10 or 6, depending on an Evo or not.
Right. Taking a long time to look in there, finally gets it.
Just deciding what his best options are being on the play here. I like keeping Into the Looking Glass because generally you're not going to play anything onto the board early. He could play the Lily early against a neutral sword deck here just to try to out-tempo his opponent going first here. Definitely now with the 1-drop, actually.
Right, the 1-drop does change it a little bit.
Gives him a value trade.
Blessed having Cinderella. Ooh.
Like this. Does have an Alice, so this is kind of a weird interaction you see with some neutral sword deck players. They choose to play Cinderella, which is a huge follower, 3-play.44, but it's not neutral. It's a sword follower.
Right.
And if you play another sword follower after it's in play, it bounces back to your hand. So non-synergy with Alice, but I guess you don't really need it if it's already a 3-play.44.
Right. And this curve is actually like looking amazing. You drew the Albert, which kind of clogs his 5, but this is great. Amazing, actually.
And Cinderella won't get hurt by Alice being played next turn, so also great. Same thing with Council of Card Knights.
She's pretty hard to answer. He's going to probably force Elf Twin Assault out of him.
Yep, Elf Twin seems like the play here. Cinderella is definitely one of those cards that early that you kind of just have to deal with.
The chime sounded.
Because even though she doesn't get buffed by Alice, she could just evolve.
So now here's the question. I think you play Alice just because you have to uncurve play something, but is it better to maybe save it after the Council? Because it doesn't really do much here. It did now get value because, you know,
Goblin was
Les
strong,
drew a
right.
Goblin, but...
I don't know. You don't want to just flip the turn.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
Force your opponent to use their Evo point. Yeah. And you have plenty of plays, so yeah, no reason. And if the game plays out like I think it's going to play, Les is definitely going to have an Evo point left over for that Albert if he doesn't want to play it early. He's got the Luminous Mage to get a free Evolution Orb. For those of you who don't know what that card is, 5-play.23 puts a 2-1 into play, and it allows you to evolve commanders you have in play for free, essentially,
For free.
without any Evolution Orbs. And the 2-1, if you evolve it, all of your other followers get +1/+0, and Luminous Mage, if you evolve it, just gets +2/+2. So, great card. Kind of like Aaron from Forest, but much cheaper.
Right. And potential for a lot more value.
Right,
So.
exactly. JaZe thinking over his turns quite a lot.
I imagine the top decked Hector is his better play.
Hector's good. An evolved Tina would be okay as well if he is going to evolve anything, because it would clear it free, but chooses to pull in the Hector now. Hector, I would say, is usually a better play if you're trying to kill multiple followers in the same turn, but apparently he doesn't think he needs that.
I actually disagree. I think Tina's much better for killing multiple followers, just because you know your opponent's deck has got neutral access to it. So, because she does 5 to neutrals.
That's true.
She'll do more than Hector would on ETB, so.
That's true. And next turn he's open to play that Beauty and the Beast, and Beauty and the Beast, like, this is a very interesting interaction. So Beauty and the Beast against an aggro deck, if you don't kill it, could just kill you. And if you do kill it, you're going to have to sink all your units into it, because even if he did have something like another Shield of Flame, you wouldn't be able to use it on the Beauty and the Beast anyway. So, very interesting if Beauty and the Beast does hit play next turn.
Which I imagine it probably will.
Probably will. Council of Card Knight's usually an amazing play, just feels kind of clunky here. Like, if you evolve anything into this 6-3, it's just going to die.
I do imagine, though, the Council is still the play, along with evolving the Storm follower in. You keep a ward up, you keep the Bane on the board, you know, not knowing that Beauty and the Beast is the play next turn.
Right.
It's probably the best preemptive setup to what he could do.
I like that line. The only other play really is Luminous Mage Evolve the 2-1 that comes out, realistically, just because you're playing kind of like a passing turn. I don't really have a great play here.
Right, which also feels kind of bad. But
Right. Looks like it's the option here. I don't mind this play at all.
Right. Either play I think was kind of okay.
I really want to see Beauty and the Beast right now.
I imagine we will.
I really want to see this.
It'll be a 9-8. Yeah, oh yeah. Slap down instantly.
This will be immediately evolved to kill that Luminous Mage. You never let that card stay in play to get more value. Because it's not just once that you can evolve the commander for free, it's every single turn that she's in play, so get her out of there. And now that I don't even think there's a way that this Beauty and the Beast can be dealt with.
Not this turn, I don't think. Council into Goblin puts the most stats on the board, which could help you.
Could help. This Beauty and the Beast might be able to ride the train to victory. There's double Saha Quill in hand to kind of, without Evos, deal with something.
Right.
And he does have Elf Twins Assault to clear out multiple minions as well, so this Beauty and the Beast looking very good right now.
And for anybody wondering why they don't just play Council and evolve the Bane, it's because that doesn't work.
Right.
You can't just Bane Beauty and the Beast. So
Beauty and the Beast cannot be destroyed by effects or spells.
Just want to make that clear for anybody out there, like, dumb casters don't know Bane works. Bane doesn't work.
Bane does not work on this one.
It's not going to help.
We might be dumb, but not all the time.
Not always.
Not always. I mean, he might just go for Alwitas here just to push damage and put up a ward that has to be dealt with. I think I like that play the best. This kind of does the same thing, but it's less damage, but like you said, it puts more stats in play to possibly deal with the Beauty and the Beast.
Right. And he's actually evolved the Storm and just probably go face.
Doesn't want to take those Evo points all the way to the grave.
Right. I mean, just they don't carry it in next game, so there's no point.
Right. Right, exactly. If they did, that would change this game dynamic quite a bit.
Tournaments would be much more interesting.
Yes, they would. I have 6 Evos this game.
Control Blood with 9 evolves sounds pretty good.
Try to win.
Try to win, yeah. Just go for it.
Alright, so I can't imagine, other than Sahaquel, like, Elf Twin's Assault's fine here, but you don't really know what you're going to kill.
Right. The Elf Twin is a little bit weaker because Sylvan Justice doesn't kill anything. The Goblin being buffed. If he could kill the Goblin with a Sylvan Justice and make the Elf Twin a bit better odds, then it would be worth it, but...
I really just like, honestly, Sahaquel, take out the ward and go face. There's like, there is no response to this other than Les just having to remove his entire board to deal with it anyway.
Yeah. The best response backwards is to hit face again.
Right.
But you don't care because this Beauty and the Beast is setting up 2-turn lethal, so...
Yep. Yeah. I don't see any other play here. I mean, I guess he could build up some carrot business and just try to luckily do an Elf Twins Assault, but that doesn't seem like a straightforward line.
This is JaZe, though. He could just go for Elf Twin. He could hit the ward on the 3-5 and just go in.
It's true. Absolutely.
That Sylvan Justice should be neutral. He hits the 3-5, but not the ward. I was saying,
go for it.
The Justice was neutral, so it was going to do 5 because he played a Looking Glass earlier, and that's a turn.
I don't like this at all.
That's a turn that Beauty and the Beast didn't do anything. And it's actually killable now.
Very killable now. And again, Les has plenty of Evolution Orbs to work with, and all he has to do is really get JaZe to 10 so that Albert can do 10 with an Evolution Orb to finish it off. So finish him off. So I really don't like that play.
That was unfortunate. I mean, as we were saying, he had the Sahaquel anyway.
Right.
Right? Then he had Sahaquel again. It puts Tina back in your hand.
Right.
You have it again.
Right.
What are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
Alwitas? You don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
Council Card Knights? You don't care.
Don't care. Very interesting choice here. Les, I mean, obviously knows that... Well, actually, there is no obvious about it anymore. He doesn't have to clear this Beauty and the Beast because it's not a next turn lethal anymore, so he could just
it's no longer clocking him.
He could just play Alwida's push for 5 and then save up for Albert and just try to play a little defensively until then.
Okay, he agrees with you. He agrees with that play completely.
I don't know. I think he's with... Oh, no.
No, he agrees. He's going face.
Perfect.
He is smorking.
Lest, I like it.
This is going to backfire a little bit, though.
It will backfire a little bit, but...
He's going to get hit for 9.
But I think he is accepting that fact. Because, realistically, with these Sahaquels, there's nothing bigger than a 3-4 in hand, well, 4-4 in hand, which is just going to die to the
That is true, but it also leaves behind a 4-4. And Sylvan Justice takes care of this 3-2 perfectly. So, well, it's not like Carrot couldn't do that anyway. But.
Right. All Lest has to do, though, is survive one more turn after this.
I think Lest may have been banking on the fact that Beauty and the Beast would have to hit this ward, putting it at 3, so Alwedas could come in without an evolve and kill it.
That's true.
So that Albert could then next evolve on the Enhance, but I don't think that's going to work out for him. I don't think that plan's going to be good.
Honestly, I think this entire setup was allowed by JaZe. Had JaZe just been the aggressor here, he would have won this turn.
Oh, yeah. If JaZe had been not dependent on Elf Twins last turn, then this would have been a winning. This would have been a winning sock wheel right here.
Now it really just depends on if he does go Beauty and the Beast face it or not. I mean,
he will. 100%.
Right?
You have to. Yes. So this puts Lest in a weird spot. Oh my gosh, another Albert. This is fine now. He can expend that evolve and not care.
Right. Yeah. Well, he has to Alwedas and kill. He has to kill the Beauty and the Beast this turn. He has to know that leaving up one tiny ward isn't going to be good enough.
Right. Leaving a Grimnir on the board's not good.
Right.
You don't want to do that.
Right.
It's going to die.
This is a tough choice for him, though, because, like, realistically, as a sword player, he knows if he uses this Evo point, he doesn't have guaranteed lethal next turn.
Right.
Whereas if he just Alwedas and doesn't Evo, he knows he does, so...
Which even more tempting is evolving the ward, attacking Sogwheel, going face for 5, putting him at 5, which means a non-evolved Enhanced Albert would be lethal. But that leaves a 4-1 ward.
That's
and
true.
A 4-1 ward is very easy for Forrest to kill.
Very easy.
Very easy.
As we can see, there's literally 2 ways for him to deal with it in hand at the moment.
Right.
So yeah, the only play here is kill
if he
Beauty and the
does
Beast.
that, Lest, please don't do that. I know you want to. He's evolving Unica.
Okay. I don't mind this.
I can be graceful too.
Hopefully Beast is dying. Beast is dying.
Okay.
Okay.
A brief farewell.
And then the Goblin is going face.
Yep. And this doesn't mean Lest is out of the water yet. So JaZe can deal 4 damage to face here while applying another 4/4 to the board. Oh no, he can't because the Sogwheel doesn't push through the 2/3.
Right, Sogwheel only makes a carrot.
With the Sylvan Justice,
it does actually, yeah, Sylvan Justice.
With the Sylvan Justice, but that's the only thing he can do. So then 4 damage to face, he'll be left with 2 4/4s.
And he actually can't do that. If he does that, he dies to Goblin Albert.
Right.
Because Goblin Albert is 8.
So this is, he has to clear board here. Because he's
this is literally both players just literally have to say, what if they have that one singular card? You know, like JaZe knows Lest hand has 2 Alberts because it always does. The second Albert's available, so it always has.
It always does. And we know this. We can see it. We're not lying, stream. You can see it.
Yeah, stream can see it for sure. Sylvan Justice. He might double Sylvan Justice here, so he can clear the 2/3 as well.
Yep. Now this is important. If he doesn't clear.
For sure, he's going to clear for sure. JaZe knows the dangers of Albert. He knows 6 + 2, 3 + 3 + 2 equals his life total.
There's at least been a card sitting in his hand for a long time.
Oh yes. Well, actually, Shadowverse shuffles your hand now.
It does shuffle.
So he doesn't know that.
But generally speaking, when you see a couple cards left in Sword's hand, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know.
They always have Albert.
You know.
Of course they do. Always.
He's thinking hard about it though.
He is.
This is not like a straightforward
because he does set up
him.
lethal for himself.
Right.
So. Opts to play double fairy instead of carrot. And he clears, obviously. Okay. So Albert actually has to kill 2 followers instead of doing anything useful.
Well, only one. He can kill the 4/2 and then go face, and then it will set up lethal for next turn.
He can get away with that. Yeah. Yes.
And I think that will be the play. Because if you look at, you know, neutral Wallet Forest, there's not really a way to storm the damage.
Right. He's not playing Wind God.
Right.
He's not playing Cynthia.
Yeah, there's no Wind Gods, no Cynthias,
and fairies
no
aren't
roaches.
neutrals.
Right.
So you can't Alice those.
Right. And I don't believe he's actually playing Alice in his Wallet neutral.
Right. Even
forest.
yeah, even still.
So.
And he didn't even play Unica. Unica would have had ward there basically.
Right.
So.
Right. Playing the fairies over the Unica was actually
weird.
super important.
It's weird. It's very weird. Because JaZe has no way to convert the 2 fairy attacks into more than 2 damage ever.
His thought could have been, if I play Unica now, then Albert can just run into the 4/2 and the Unica, and then I still have to deal with the Albert. But doing it this way, it just sets up a guaranteed double Albert lethal. Obviously, you're not trying to consider 2 Alberts. You just don't want to consider that.
Yes.
But
well, I think you should always consider triple Albert. Really,
always triple Albert. Okay.
Yeah, I think triple Albert should be the consideration. But he's probably going to do what you said, clear the 4/2, go face for 3, putting JaZe at 5, and that puts lethal for Albert.
And there's nothing JaZe has to do about it.
Right, he can clear this Albert. For those of you who don't know, an enhanced Albert actually keeps his double strike.
Right.
So this Albert can actually attack for 6 still.
Right, so has to kill this, and then we'll die to the next one. But, yeah. Yep, and he can. He'll have to Sockquill, do it, and...
Sockquill a carrot. What a world.
What a world.
What a world we live in.
I feel kind of bad for JaZe this game. He had a bunch of Sockquills, no Israfils, no, you know, big life mini cards, no Lucifers,
Sockquill did
like that.
basically nothing.
Lest very relieved that he can win this game now.
JaZe at least able to set up lethal for himself if nothing were to happen, if Lest were to disconnect from the game.
Right. If there was a disconnect.
There's Unica, finally. 3rd Albert drawn, obviously, every time. Got him. Albert for lethal attacks for 6.
Yep.
Whew.
JaZe knows.
What a close game.
What a close game. Really down to the wire here. And like, yeah, like you said, it's just really hard. Like if you account for an Albert, do you account for 2? Do you account for 3?
Right.
Like where does it stop?
Albert's one of those cards that can kind of just checkmate you if you think too hard about him. It's like, what if they have 2 Alberts? Then I just lose. I can't play around that. Why even care?
Right.
What if they have 3 Alberts? How do I play around that? You know, so.
Less showing that he is still a dominant player.
Oh, for sure.
Knowing what to do here. So let's see what he gets to play next. His neutral sword is now gone.
Yeah, not knowing bans is kind of awkward, but...
It's alright. Get to figure it out. Gets to play his blood deck. So Les is playing Control Blood, again, like we said, with 2 Spawn of the Abyss.
Right.
So, very straightforward game plan for Control Blood here.
Lest, obviously, like Rainey said earlier, bringing his own little flavor into something.
That's right.
Spawn of the Abyss, a card that no one plays anymore, but Lest, of course, does.
I will tell you that Aya, actually, in his Control Blood, and he loves Control Blood, plays 2 Spawn of the Abyss, so at least there's 1. Maybe he only plays 1 these days, but...
Oh, this hand is terrible. Lest uncharacteristically having a horrible hand. Ugh, it's getting worse.
Yes, not the greatest hand you want to see here. JaZe, not really with a hand you want to see either.
Both players have pretty bad. At least he has a little looking glass.
Yes.
He can make his hand neutral, which is already mostly neutral anyway, but... It cycles itself.
I find it interesting. So what do you think the point of Lily is over any other removal option that, you know, JaZe has access to in this deck? Because Lily's not a neutral card. It doesn't, like, fit into the plan, like, necessarily. You know, Dance of Death is an option. There's, you
Back
know,
when everyone played Dragon and Ouroboros healed, I would say Ouroboros.
Right.
But now, I don't know.
Kind of awkward, right?
I don't know.
Kind of a weird card to be in the deck. I guess it does give you the flexible option of being a 2-drop as well as a late-game removal spell, so that's
kind of like a Dance of Death on a stick.
Reason.
Kind of.
Right.
This is really, really weird.
Yeah, both players just kind of posturing, saying, hey, what's up? I'm playing control, you're playing control.
This is going to be Beauty and the Beast into pass into game, I think.
Yeah, we said this before, but Beauty and the Beast against Blood is probably where it's at its best, and he's got 2 of them back-to-back.
Very hard to get rid of.
Very hard to get rid of. So as long as JaZe can kind of keep the board
clean. He has all 3 of them. Oh my gosh. He even drew 2 of them back. He drew them all in the past 4 draws.
Right. They were like, you know what, JaZe, we'll give you this one. We'll give you this one. We'll
Actually, they were all together because Goblin Mage pulled the Unica.
Right, Goblin Mage pulled the
They
Unica.
were all together. Who shuffled this deck?
It wasn't
what is
me,
this?
I promise. I really want to see if Les can combat this, because I'm the type of player that when I played Control Blood, every time I saw Beauty and the Beast, I was like, all right, you got me.
Not to mention 3 of them.
Not to mention
he can evolve all 3 of them.
If Les can somehow manage to win this game, I'm going to record this game and learn how to play Control Blood from him.
Right. Because obviously, he did something right.
Right. He did something right. He knew how to set up for this. Yeah, honestly, I think we're just going to see a whole lot of just, like, you know, back and forth of a little bit here, a little bit there until Beauty and the Beast, like you said, and then...
Is he able to attack more than once? Yes.
That's where the game starts.
Mm-hmm. He's even going to put himself at 12, likely this turn, as well.
He could. Go Belphegor Diabolic Drain. He could also Tina if he just wants to clear the board and not do anything crazy. I don't see any reason why not Belphegor here. It's not like you're afraid of the damage. Then again, Beauty the Beast.
Yeah, not afraid yet.
Not afraid yet. We'll see. Thinking really hard about this play, too.
I think Les is mostly just considering, you know, what if I'm met with a Fina?
Right.
Which Tina would be horrible against.
It's like
So.
gold to me.
Okay. Goes for the line of drawing some cards and playing a Diabolic Drain. Not bad.
And then actually even evolving Belphegor because
I don't know if I really like the Evo. I don't think you need to Evo to kill the Goblin Mage here, but
it forces a trade with Fina, though.
It does force a trade.
So.
And honestly, JaZe not really having anything to. I mean, he could Lily evolve.
Do you have to care?
He could Elf Twin. Yeah, you could just not care.
You've got Beauty, Lucifer.
Well, this is the thought from my end. If you don't kill this here, then Beauty and the Beast, your first one at least, is actually super easily killable.
Right. Yes, that's true.
And I think you want to take every advantage away from the Blood player to do that.
He also had an Elf Twin Assault tucked away over there, or we couldn't see it again. But all right, so this is where it is. Les is gonna pass the turn, and I want to point out that nothing in his hand does anything.
Right. He could play a Belphegor to draw some cards if he wants to lower his life even more. But that would put him to 9 cards in hand with the possibility of overdrawing.
Mm-hmm.
He could just play Sabrewer, but that doesn't deal damage to face anymore.
Not anymore, right? Yeah, recent change. And the Bane is useless.
Bane doesn't do anything, as Envy pointed out before. He doesn't, of course, know the impending doom that's awaiting him.
He doesn't. But I mean, this is just the Albert situation.
Is just like, this is an easy game. He's got nothing in play. Like,
this is the Albert situation.
Right.
Yes, like, of course he has 3 Beauty and the Beast, right? Like, whatever.
Right,
why wouldn't
right.
he?
This is perfect. And remember, the winner of this has to go on to Gengar, who's been playing very well today. So,
well, it's not, it's not over yet. If JaZe wins this,
well, of course it's not over
just
yet.
game
I'm
3.
not talking about this game. I'm talking about the match. Yeah.
Okay.
So either of these players, even if they get through this rough match, they'll still have to go through one more. Ooh.
Mask of Black Death. Beauty and the Beast #1 slapped down pretty instantly, I'm sure. There it is. The first one will be killable.
Yes.
Because Les had initiative on the board, but
It won't be long now.
So does this to force an Evo out of Les next turn, the last Evo that Les is going to have.
Give it to me again.
Mask of Black Death a little weird to play on that turn in my mind, unless he was just thinking about playing another.
I think he was just being efficient with his play points. And he would have also milled a card, so.
That's fair.
Might as well, right? In Vengeance and nothing matters. He can't,
Yep, this will be the one that he can deal with, and then we're just going to see back-to-back Beauty and the Beast.
Hey, check this out.
This is, going to be interesting. I want to see Les' face reaction to this.
So, interesting thing about this, like the Mask of Black Death, he wanted to be efficient with his play points, but it could just be that this Mask of Black Death was one of his only real ways to get past a few Beauty and the Beast attacks, and he kind of just put it out there.
Yeah.
Now,
nonchalantly.
Yeah. Well and good for him that it will effectively block one of these attacks, which is good.
Right.
But he didn't know that at the time.
JaZe slow rolling the second Beauty and the Beast here. Goes for it.
Yes.
It's love.
I don't think any reason to evolve this.
Don't have to. You could. Doesn't really matter.
Okay. And now we're just going to have to see a lot of toughness and power being put on the board for less. More power. Just so that he can actually deal with his Beauty and the Beast over a few turns.
And this is just, this is so awkward,
His options are so awkward. Like, not even Spawning the Abyss can touch it.
Right.
I mean,
it's interesting to see an entire faction's cards turned off.
Right. Exactly.
Except for Odin. Ironically enough, Odin.
Yep, Odin would have done it, but Les, not being
He's
the techie
not playing
one,
Odin, yeah.
JaZe's got all the Odins.
JaZe has the Odin, that he doesn't even have.
Right.
He's not even drawing them. Still. JaZe still can't draw his Odin.
We're just lying to you. He's not really playing Odin.
Schrodinger's Odin. It doesn't it's in his deck list. He submitted it, but it doesn't actually ever happen.
So this will allow for Les to be able to kill the Beauty and the Beast next turn with an Emeralda, but the third Beauty and the Beast...
Oh my gosh, an Aaron even.
I don't even know. Yeah, and Aaron even helps prevent against that.
Evolve Beauty and the Beast, play Aaron. Enhanced, she gets the Evolve back. Like, You don't actually want to evolve the Beauty and the Beast this turn. I was kidding, by the way.
Plus, like, even if this madness gets stopped somehow, there's already 2 Bahamut's in the hand for JaZe. He's already got his endgame set up. Like, this just looks really bad for Les.
We turn into Dragon and just do the whole, like, Bahamut, Bahamut shuffle.
With this mid-game, I've got Spawn, you've got Beauty and the Beast. Now, the funny thing about Spawn, new Spawn now, is an 8 play point 6/7, will attack, only maximizes at 5 damage, evolved or non-evolved, so it can do 11 straight to face, with an Emeralda that's actually all the way up to 15 damage, but hasn't dealt any damage yet, so JaZe is sitting comfortably at a 20 life total.
And the third Beauty, the back-breaking third, is what really gets you.
Yeah, That one you just got to feel bad about.
This one does 0, obviously, but that doesn't matter.
Yep, unless Les can find some way to deal with this. He's not necessarily dead in one attack.
I really don't think his deck has a way to deal with this. Especially now without an evolve.
Ooh,
okay,
so
mask.
here we go. Here we go. There are ways. So one mask did prevent an attack from Beauty and the Beast, so that's good. So got the best use out of it.
And they can't evolve to have 10 or more attack. They only evolve to 9.
Right.
So.
And honestly, with an easy attack here with Spawn, and it really has to be Emeralda so that you can actually finish off one of the Beauty and the Beasts, followed up by a Mask of Black Death, that'll prevent yet another attack from Beauty and the Beast and give him one extra turn.
But really, what is this life that we're living right now?
Right.
He would need a Sahaquil to give Rush to a Bahamut to attack one. But
he's not playing. I doubt he's playing Sahaquil as a Control Blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said, even if this madness gets dealt with, there's
right,
still
yes.
way
Then
more
we move on to the
JaZe.
Bahamut Shuffle.
Exactly.
The Bahamut Shuffle.
The Bahamut Shuffle. My favy.
Yeah. Les he's probably considering every possible thing he can do. Going through his hand, that doesn't work. That doesn't work anymore. I can't do that anymore. Emeralda, no destruction effect, but she does gain Storm, so.
So this will deal 5 damage to face, so we'll get some damage in.
He's going face. He's going face. He's got the mask.
I like this.
I mean, you got to play to win. You have to play to win.
I like this. I didn't even consider that line of play, but that looks like the best line of play.
You have to play to win. You can't play to lose. Lucifer Evolve is lethal. What a cool lethal.
Lucifer.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Lucifer.
Committing the first lethal I've seen him commit in a long time.
Ever.
In a long time, if not ever. Yeah. On stream here.
On evolve, Lucifer's effect reverses. Normally heals you, but when he evolves, the effect flips and he does 4.
That's
to
right.
the enemy.
Awesome way to do lethal. JaZe, getting it done.
What a way to win.
What a way to win.
What a way to win. And it's actually not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
We're back on the camera of us. Hi.
Hello.
But the game is actually not over.
Yeah, we're going into one more game. They probably just, doing their deck things, maybe some technical things.
That was such I've never seen Lucifer win a game.
That was great,
in a tournament even.
Like, so many ways that he had effective lethal just going into that end
Beauty
game.
and the Beast followed by Beauty and the Beast. Followed by Beauty and the Beast is just
followed by
when
Lucifer,
you're blood.
Followed by like Bahamut. Like, yeah, what are you supposed to do?
It's interesting to see a faction with so many answers, like Bane, Drain, that thing, Bane and Drain combined in the same thing. Like, you just have no answer. It can't do anything.
So now we get to see whose blood matches up well or the best against each other. I guess did the Odins really matter here? They can. They're extra removal spells.
Right, they really are just 8 play points. It's like a Dance of Death that makes a 4/3 for 3 play points.
Right.
But it also doesn't do face damage.
Right. It gives, targets for Hungering Horde
and
Diabolic Drains.
It does kill wins the Bahamut
It
dance.
does win
That's
the
what it does.
Yes.
That's the job from now on.
So technically, pretty good.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 play points to get rid of a 13/13 and also make a 4/3.
Not a bad turn.
That sounds great to me, dude.
Get in for a long one, kids.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready.
Get your pillows.
Get your snacks.
Your warm milk.
That's right.
Your warm sugar milk and just
We're going at least 15 turns right now. Let's go.
At least.
At least.
I say turn 22.
22?
22.
All right, let's put a counter on it.
22.
22. Envy says 22. I said at least 15. Those are the over-unders right there. Let's go. Not that it'll be boring. There's going to be a lot of things happening. It's just that both of these decks have a really hard time actually finishing the game. There's no like really big storm minions. There's no crazy like things that you can be doing. There is Spawn of the Abyss that Les does have that JaZe doesn't. So that's like the one kind of random factor that he's got going for him. And that could end the game if he plays it in the right turn with like a Temptress Vampire to deal a bunch of damage all at once. So we'll see if that can happen.
This is basically going to be... I imagine the game won't end on Spawn and will actually end off of Bahamut.
Yes.
I think Bahamut will be... Whoever wins that dance will be the winner of this.
And realistically, can JaZe draw his Odins if it matters?
Finally, can JaZe ever draw an Odin? Find out soon.
Find out soon.
You know, within the next 22 turns. If he can.
I find it weird, too. So JaZe's other tech card, we saw it earlier, was an Azazel. What do you think Azazel's in the deck for?
Fun?
Fun?
I have no idea, really.
Yeah.
It's not good against aggro. It's not good against... I guess it's good against control. control in a way. If they're sitting at 20, you do 10 to them.
Yeah, it can be one of those ways, like we just said. It really doesn't have a way to close out the game. It could help close out the game.
And there he is, drawing the one of Azazel again.
He likes that card.
Instead of the 2 Odins.
I think the game will go long enough this time where we will see at least an Odin.
We'll have to.
At least one.
We will have to.
Yeah. So realistically, you're just going to see these players trying to deal with, the one threat that they play per turn, so that they don't lose too much advantage on board. This could be a very easy Righteous Devil turn. Doesn't need to gain the life.
Go! Go!
Right, just evolving and attacking the Belphegor is good enough.
Yep.
And technically, I mean, Lest is winning by twice his life total. So
that is true.
He is in the
Lest
lead.
is winning.
He's in the spiritual lead right now.
In the spiritual lead, yes. But JaZe having access to Vengeance when, your life total doesn't matter this early in the game kind of gives him a little bit more of an advantage.
True. Les just drew Vengeance on a stick, so he has that.
No reason for him to actually do anything this turn. He could play a Sabrewer just to get it out there.
Doesn't go face anymore.
Nope.
Pretty big deal.
Still heals, though, so not the worst
True.
option, even if there's no targets.
Mask of Black Death drawn for JaZe, and he will probably just spend this turn doing nothing again.
Yeah, he can't play Belphegor here because he's got too many cards in hand already. He could play his own if he wants to, or he could get some cards out of his hand. This works as well. Maybe just doing that so he can Blood Pact?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Righteous Devil, okay. Probably not evolving, I don't imagine.
Definitely not.
Yeah. It was interesting that he took himself out of Vengeance first before doing that.
Especially right before turn 7.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of forces Les to trading into the Righteous Devil instead of going face, though, which might be what he wanted.
Right, but the Devil would have gained... It would have gained Bane. It would have gained Bane, Drain. I mean, it already trades anyway, obviously. But it was weird to me that,
Is strange. But, like we said earlier, a lot of these plays are just kind of, again, posturing.
Sure, like, a lot of them are not going to have much of an impact anyway, so...
I really... You know what? This Azazel might actually come into really good play here. Like, JaZe might just be like, alright, I'm going to set you into Vengeance for some kind of a push after, and follow it up with the Temptress Vampire to see if he can just go for it. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but it is a strategy.
Probably one of the best one he's got, too, as well.
It's either that or just, like you said, fighting the Bahamut War with extra Odins.
It's either that or they play all 40 cards against each other and see who has something left over to attack with.
Right. Both of these decks just very reactionary. So what we were kind of talking about the turns going long, both decks very reactionary, bunch of board wipes, bunch of board kills, but not a lot of things that actually attack for a lot.
Right.
And no combo kills or anything crazy. We did see Bottles with the crazy version of Blood that had a whole bunch of Bloody Marys and Blood Wolves and Dark Air Jammers and things that you could.
He was playing a more proactive list. These lists are definitely dirtling.
Right.
They don't care to do anything.
So talk to me. Okay, so this is a great opportunity, Envy. Why do you not like Control Blood?
This.
Well, I know the mirror. Okay, so forget about the mirror. Forget about the mirror altogether. Why do you just not like it in the metagame right now?
Well, no, I mean, because if you look at Lest's hand, board wipe, healing removal, activation for all board wipes and healing removals, AoE removal.
Right.
Who would like that?
That
doesn't sound fun at all.
A lot of these players in the tournament like it.
They like it because it's good right now.
Okay.
For them.
Well, yeah.
No one in the tournament likes something because they like something, okay?
Okay.
These are not community tournaments. We're playing for money, all right? You can put a flavor card in.
So you don't like it just because of what it is? Not because it's necessarily bad or because it's not something people should play?
I like to play either combo decks, like Seraph, D-Shift, and PTP, or board-based, like follower synergy, not neutral because I think it's a bit too good, but sword. I like sword, mid-range sword. And Blood is just like the antithesis,
yeah.
Antithesis of all of that. While I'm talking about nothing, though, JaZe is getting hit in the face
for a little bit.
Scarlet Sabor, a little bit of a push there. Tina actually attacked face there. That was...
This does prevent the Azazel play this turn.
Yeah, an inclination of pushing there. Well, he actually could play Azazel. It wouldn't matter.
That's true. He could just play it.
He could play Azazel, put Lest at... it actually would be great. Even though he has Dialogue Drain. He has Temptress Vampire to follow up. Because the big difference here has been that JaZe has drawn all of his card draw. He's got 2 Belphegors even extra in his hand.
Right.
But Les has drawn none of it.
Technically, that might hurt him in the long run. If they do answer card for card the entire game, the person who drew more cards throughout the course of the game will win. So,
well, no, they'll die first. They'll mill.
Exactly. So the
Are we actually positive that he has Odins in that deck?
I looked at the list before the game
Are you
started.
sure?
Yeah.
Wait, did you drink something weird this morning?
I don't think so.
Because there's no... It's almost statistically impossible that we haven't seen one yet.
Maybe.
Almost.
Unless, because like I wrote it down, I saw it right before the Azazel.
I see it written. Yes, yeah. I do see that you wrote that. But I mean, unless I'm going crazy, does he have Odin in his hand right now?
I've gone crazy this morning and just not known. Like we know he has Odins at least in his other deck, but maybe he just randomly doesn't in this one, and I just saw it wrong. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
It's almost an anomaly at this point that we haven't seen one. It's just getting creepy. He does still have an infinite amount of options.
He does. But, okay, so what I was kind of saying earlier is if you are the first person to run out of cards, for those of you who don't know, new to the game, you will actually die. If you can't draw a card at the beginning of your turn, you will die.
Right.
So it doesn't happen often, and almost rarely. It has happened back when Dragon vs. Dragon first came out in Tempest of the Gods.
Good old Haven.
Yeah, Haven.
Guardian Sun Haven used to do it all the time.
Yeah, Guardian Sun
We
Haven.
played Prince of Darkness to give us 10 more cards.
Right.
So that we could just not kill ourselves.
But doesn't happen much anymore. But in this type of control grinder matchup, if both players realistically just deal with every threat their opponent's playing, it could get to that point.
We've seen this deck draw down to 15, and now draw down to 20, and we haven't seen an Odin.
That's true. That's true.
Exo.
You know.
There is not an Odin in this deck.
I woke up this morning and I might have been tired, but I don't think I was that tired. We'll find out.
You should have had some. I made some bomb and coffee. You should have had some of my coffee.
So, I'll say a little bit about myself to make chat hate me a little bit more. I hate coffee. I think it's gross.
Oh my gosh, what?
I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. Well, it's not really. Okay, here's the real truth.
Can I not sit next to this guy anymore? Can we switch?
It makes me sick, okay?
Oh, okay.
It makes me sick.
So you're just,
it's like, I think there's like acidity in it or something.
A weird
and
deficiency
it
makes,
that you... weird thing, I don't know. Coffee doesn't sit well with me. Now, if you mix it with chocolate and I can't taste the coffee, then we're all right.
But if it has an acidity, then that wouldn't matter.
Right, but like, I don't know.
That's like saying if you put bleach in my coffee, I can't taste the bleach, whatever. It doesn't hurt me.
Is that even true, though?
There's no way. Well, of course it's true. It's bleach. There's no way it hurts me if I can't taste it, right? Like, what? Vegetables aren't good for you if you can't taste them. Everybody knows that.
Subjective drinks and food.
You just don't like them.
Just don't argue.
You just don't like coffee.
All right, I'm just trying to make excuses.
You just don't like coffee.
Terrible.
You're a bad person. Finally, floating the whole turn, he finally plays a JaZe.
Oh, wow. Prevents the damage to himself.
Which is interesting, because he pops his entire... hopefully 4 only, sorry. He doesn't pop the entire mask. Very
heads-up play, because it does prevent the face damage from Emeralda as well.
Well, he was at 14.
Yeah.
So... And he also could have played Azazel into mask, and then it would have 5 charges on mask. And
That's true.
And he would have maintained a vengeance position.
That's true. Not maintaining the vengeance might actually hurt this next turn too if he doesn't have the Temptress Vampire play available to him.
And we're in a spot where Revelation is castable, Bahamut is castable. In Lest's position, we're finally at a place where Lest may actually be in a position where decisions matter.
Right.
He could just Bahamut.
With the Mask of Black Death in play, it makes pretty much every one of Lest's plays bad. Like there's nothing he can do here that's actually that good. Bahamut's probably the best option, but we know if he does that, it can just be answered by a Righteous Devil.
Or an Emeralda. Yeah, Emeralda.
Yeah, there's plenty of answers in hand. So, and that's his last big resource. After that, he doesn't have any big game enders.
That's true. He's got Revelation, but whatever, right?
So...
Les needs to draw some card draw.
He does.
Where is that hanging out?
He needs to draw something, period.
All of his Belphegors went to the same party that JaZe's Odins did. And they're just not actually in the deck at all. They're hallucinations.
I really hope there aren't any in there, and we've just been making a big deal about it.
We've been talking about a card that doesn't exist the whole time.
Right.
Odin is such an interesting card. I'm like, oh my god, Odin this, Odin that. And he's just not even playing Odin at all. He doesn't even have them crafted on his account.
Now you see my divisive plots.
Yeah, you installed Odin conversation into me when no one actually had Odins. Because I didn't look at the deck, because I just copied your notes. I assumed... I got tricked. I was, I've been bamboozled.
I hate coffee, and I'm tricking everybody on the panel with me. This is good.
Hates coffee, lies about Odin. Why is this guy a caster again?
Why am I even here, guys?
Oh my gosh. A Blood Pack could search for not Odins,
It could search for not Odin's. I really feel like easy plays are just Belphegor's, but I don't really know if he wants to draw that deep that fast.
Realistically, you have to notice if you're not ending the game anytime soon, you've Belphegor'd yourself down to 19.
Right. And your opponent's got 26 cards left in their deck. You got to be careful. On the same token, Les, like you said, just doesn't have a lot of options either, so it's really a tricky spot for JaZe. Does he really want to push here because he has more card advantage? Does he want to just push the fact that, you know...
It is hard for him to push, though. Like, how do you even push with that hand?
Right.
You play Belphegor,
like you said, had he remained in Vengeance, he could have killed the
Blood
Moon and gone face.
Yes, exactly. Had he played that different... Odin! He does have it.
Okay.
There it is.
See, I'm not a liar.
Exists. He has at least one confirmed.
I'm not a liar.
Odin. So now he's just holding... There's finally some card draw for Les, finally. So now JaZe is holding an infinite amount of answers to Bahamut's.
I think Les knows... He's played Dragon Mirrors a bunch. I know this. He's a Dragon player.
Right.
He knows that because he has card advantage here, as long as he stays one card above JaZe the entire rest of the game and just plays reactively, he doesn't have to do anything explosive.
Right. He's also still... Les' draws are technically a bit better than JaZe's because JaZe's blown most of his card draw already.
That's true.
So, you know, Les has got all that left in his deck. He's got that fuel, that pop.
And I really like Les here. I think he's honestly going to hold that Bahamut until he sees very specifically a Bahamut from JaZe.
Probably.
Because generally speaking, most of these
JaZe has the answer. My boy Odin. Just coming in hot.
That's right, your boy Odin.
Temptress Vampire has some pressure here too. This is nothing to laugh at.
I like it. Now, there's no real way to set up Vengeance plus Emeralda, so that's not really an option for JaZe here. Gaining the life actually hurts in this scenario. You didn't want to gain those 5 health points.
Right. But he does have Belphegor tucked away.
He does have Blood Moon plus Emeralda, though, so that is a real thing.
As well.
Actually, so yeah, I just lied, essentially.
Lying again.
Yeah, I'm terrible with it today.
Right through your caster's microphone. Just lying right past it.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, just Emeralda with an Evo will not be lethal. But again, very scary point.
Pretty scary though. It's 1 away. Right. So that's, you know, you don't ever want to be against 1. You don't want to be at 1 life against anything.
Yeah. I don't mind just a Rev him pass. You know, putting yourself at 1 is really scary. You do have the Mask of Black Death to prevent another turn. You really just have to be, if you're in Les' shoes, you have to be aware of how many Emeraldas have been played this game, and I don't think there's been any, correct? Or was there one earlier? There might have been one earlier to pop a mask, I believe.
1.
I think 1.
1.
And they might be playing 2, they might be playing 3. I didn't get the exact numbers of those written down.
This is also the problem with Control Blood, is that the mirrors tend to blend together.
Right.
And, yeah. You kind of forget what's been played this game because it was played 2 games ago.
Right. All right. So this is an opportunity for JaZe to get in 6 damage if he wants it.
Which I think is the correct play. I think pushing... He's already at 7. He didn't heal last turn. Pushing him to 1 could be a winning play. And I think JaZe knows that. It could be a winning play.
I mean, it's really hard to heal back out of that to basically prevent lethal from yet another Temptress Vampire draw that JaZe is getting closer and closer to if he has more.
Right.
So yeah, I actually think that's the best play. It does limit his options if Les does indeed want to play that Bahamut into the Emeralda. So that's like a very... You have to be very aware of what you're doing when that happens. But if that Emeralda is played and the Bahamut comes down after it, there's the Odin.
He has Odin.
He does have Odin.
He has Odin.
He is going to push for it. I can't imagine that play without the Emeralda here.
Here it is. He's going to put him to 1.
Yep. There we go. He notices the same line we do.
Even still, Les is at 4 cards left in his hand. Right. What could those 4 cards be?
And actually,
another Bahamut.
Okay, so
that's big.
But this is very scary. So if Les does play Bahamut and JaZe does have another Emeralda, he's just giving the game away.
But what else do you do?
Right.
What else do you do?
I mean, you could just Rev.
You could Rev Mask. You could Rev Mask.
You could Vampiric Kiss Rev. But that doesn't really save you from a Temptress. And that's really what Les is thinking about right now. He's like, my opponent, if he has a Temptress Vampire,
the game is over.
He just loses.
The game is
over, he can't think that. Les has got to be like, all right, my opponent can't have Temptress Vampire.
No.
I mean, Mask of Black Death.
Bahamut.
Okay, he's going for it.
Bahamut.
This is an opening for JaZe to top deck a win here.
Bahamut.
Ooh.
That's not good enough. It's a thinker, though. You think for a split second it's good enough.
It can deal damage.
Odin has to come down on Bahamut.
Yep.
In 2017. Blood Pack first.
Going for a lethal.
Oh, no. Both very useless amulets right now.
Yes. Odin will come down to deal with this Bahamut, and then if this other Bahamut comes down, and he's got an Evo point left,
right?
He could survive at 1 health and just win the game.
Oh my gosh!
We do know there's a Mask of Black Death though, so there's definitely a lot
that'll
of play.
stop. That'll stop for one
This
more
is
turn.
craziness right now.
And then, really, if JaZe just top decks 1 damage, like one damage,
just 1.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Oh my goodness.
So you have to Odin, JaZe. I don't know why you're thinking so hard about it.
This is not a hard play.
Odin! Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I don't think it's very safe for Les to not even just go for the Bahamut here.
A Spawn! Ooh!
Do you play Spawn and Mask?
No.
No, you can't do
Wait.
that.
Spawn Evolve Mask.
That's 8 plus 5, that's 13 damage. Not quite lethal.
I think Bahamut's the play, yeah.
I like Bahamut here.
But you've seen an Odin now.
It's
What do you do? What if they have a second Odin? What do I do?
Right.
It's in the deck somewhere. What if he draws it?
Right.
You know?
This is a real tough spot for Lest. Really tough. I think if he made the Bahamut play last turn, I don't really see a reason why he wouldn't this turn. Although he did see a Blood Pack, so another, big hand of cards.
He may opt to go for Spawn Mask because that way Temptress can't kill him. He drew 3 cards last turn. He's drawing another card this turn. Temptress is a real thing.
That's true.
So
Mask of Black Death will prevent 4 damage from the Odin, and it'll prevent any big damage spike from any other spell before it goes away the following turn. But
well,
if he
you should kill the Odin.
Huh?
Definitely should kill the Odin.
Okay,
like
you think so?
If that's your yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could just not kill the Odin.
You're saying Evo the Spawn.
Evo the Spawn,
okay.
yes, to establish a body. Although that gives him something to Diabolic Drain. I don't know. It really depends.
Yeah, maybe that is the safest play. That's definitely the safest play. Bahamut's the most aggressive line. Bahamut says either answer this one also or else you're dead.
Right. The only way... Oh, gosh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my
I like
gosh.
it. Lest.
Oh, my gosh.
Lest. Oh, I like it.
Please.
The gambles. Ooh.
Diabolic Drain's not good enough. No.
JaZe.
Oh, my God.
He's
He has
like,
mask. He has mask, though. He does have mask.
Yes. He also has Belphegor. What could he Belphegor into to win this turn? Nothing, I don't think?
Not to win, no.
Yeah, not to win.
Not to win. He doesn't play Blood Wolves or anything like that, so...
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is, if he plays Mask and Lest draws Emeralda. Oh. Oh, he put himself in Vengeance. So he can Diabolic Drain now.
He can drain and Hungering Horde.
Yes.
Okay. Good answers.
And he still has a Rev left for Spawn.
Yes, he does, which is perfect. Now, if Lest pre-evos the Spawn and plays a Mask of Black Death this turn, honestly, he could. I mean, he's got 2 of them now, so I don't see any reason why he would not play a Mask this turn.
You play a Mask this turn.
You have to.
You have to play a Mask this turn.
You took risk twice in a row into a Temptress
It's interesting that you mentioned pre-evolving because you're already very aware of being playing against Blood, but you also have Revelation in your hand right now.
Right.
You're being reminded it's a card, and he didn't do it.
No pre-evo.
So it's a killable. Another Blood Moon, another useless draw for JaZe. He can even prevent the damage from Spawn with this Mask if he wants to. I don't think he cares to. He can prevent actually all of this if he just plays Mask into Belphegor, draws 2 cards for free, and then Revelates, but he also pops his own Belphegor. That's kind of dumb, but, you know. He's also in a spot where Belphegor is kind of weird because he's got 10 cards left. Yeah. He has 10.
Yeah. Now, Lest is probably just aware of the same fact that I was talking about. Like, I'm just going to throw things out and make it so I don't die and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But he's at a very risky spot. As soon as that mask goes away, he does have 1 more mask. As soon as that mask goes away, a Temptress Vampire could just be lethal at any point. And there
we've
is enough
seen
turns.
2 Temptress Vampires.
Right.
We've seen 2 Emeraldas.
That's true. So there might not be any more Temptress.
There might not be any more Temptress. Emeralda's probably definitely.
I hate the no Evo for Les there.
Yeah, that was weird. That's his 3rd Revelation, though, if Les is counting. So, he took 7 from that. And he found a Blood Moon and an Emeralda. He didn't take 7. I'm stupid, because he's actually in Vengeance because of Blood Moon, but he found Emeralda. Is that a Belphegor?
That is a Belphegor.
Yeah, Altar Belphegor, okay.
Very nice looking, by the way.
Yes.
If you guys haven't looked into the pre-constructed decks, definitely do it. Sweet art on those cards.
But Lest has played 2 Temptress Vampire. But it doesn't matter. He's played 2 Bahamuts of his own, which means JaZe is...
The second mask here, I don't like this at all.
Oh
this
my
means
gosh,
Bahamut comes down and just clears both of them out.
Another Odin, even, for fun.
See? 2 Odins.
He does have 2 Odins.
I knew it.
He had to draw down to 7 cards to get to 2 Odins.
It's true.
JaZe does not draw Odins. If he just jams Bahamut right here.
This is such an easy Bahamut.
If he jams Bahamut.
Why would you play the second mask here?
I'd...
Why would you not Evo the spawn?
What is less scared of? What is less scared of?
Like,
this is just over.
You know this sets up for a Bahamut.
This is just over.
Technically, he doesn't even need to Bahamut, but this is so perfect.
Bahamut's?
Yeah.
Temptress Vampire can't even kill that with an Evolve.
Nope.
She leaves it at 1. Oh, he got Bane!
Oh my goodness.
He got Bane. It can't go face, though.
It can't go face.
But he got Bane.
But it can kill the Bahamut.
What is this game? It's not going to matter, though. Unless he heals. He heals to 5.
He's healing both.
So it does matter
It
because
does
Blood
matter.
Moon Emerald is no longer lethal. It only does 4. What in the world am I watching right now?
Oh my goodness.
Life's all I need.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And JaZe's 7 cards left. Aurelia 6 now.
This is just Blood Hungry Matriarch pass, right?
Likely.
Like, just put a unit in play, but that'll prompt a Temptress Vampire, which will put him right back to 10.
Right? He's going to go for Almalda. He's just going to go for it. Put him at 1 again. Oh my gosh.
Giving up resources
Which is going to be
so.
Vampire on Emeralda, putting it at 6. Odin on Vampire, into Temptress Vampire on Odin. Grimner drawn. He could actually kill Odin with Grimner, putting up a ward.
You're kidding.
Oh my god.
I think Les is going to take this one.
Les may win with a deck out.
I think he is. Oh my goodness.
He's not going to Odin. He's going to Hungering Horde instead, doing 1, putting him at 5. But he's out of Temptress Vampires, I imagine, isn't he?
I think so.
He would have only had 2, I think.
He's been playing in such a way that makes me believe he has another one.
He has to, but it doesn't matter, because Lest actually does just have another one right here.
Right here, putting him to 10 and right back out of any kind of possible lethal
Which
range.
gets flip answered by Odin, but Grimner answers Odin.
Right.
And Les still has access to Grimners, and Grimner even has ward on the backdraw.
And
so
if you look, while we've been talking, JaZe's down to 5
yes,
cards
he's down
left.
to 5. I think Les can actually win on a deck out. He's down to 4 now. He draws an Emerald, though. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's definitely the last one.
Yeah,
I must have
that
miscounted
has to be the
somewhere.
last one.
I miscounted somewhere because I know he doesn't have 4. That's actually impossible.
And there's no way to deal with this immediately.
Mask of Black Death is good.
Is that the 16th Mask of Black Death that he's drawn? What is happening? What is happening right now? Oh my gosh.
It's actually incredibly humongous that Sabwar can't go face.
Yes.
Huge change.
Huge.
6 damage not even available.
So I imagine the Baphomet will get played into a Mask of Black Death, perhaps.
Probably.
And then saving the Grimnir for next
Saving the Grimnir, yes.
Because Baphomet...
But, I mean, if he saves Grimnir, that makes Odin lethal.
That's true.
So...
This is tight. This is a really tight spot here.
It's almost 100% going to hinge on what this Baphomet pulls.
Honestly, if Lest wins this game, it really means that he understands the control v control. He's like, exactly my first game plan, but actually knowing how to do it and understanding the game plan are 2 very different things.
He understands that you have to win by deck out.
Right. But getting
Righteous
there,
Devil, while he's in Vengeance, and he's able to put up a Mask of Black Death, is humongous, because that actually gets Bane and Drain. He would have to attack that to prevent lifesteal.
And that would force out the Odin, which will then force out and turn the Grimnir.
Which then Grimnir would flip on. Oh my gosh.
What an intense game for a game that didn't start until turn 10.
Right,
This has been an intense game.
I mean, we talked about nothing for a good 10 minutes.
But this is exciting.
Oh my gosh, what in the world? JaZe has 4 cards left. Any draw card is uncastable. You can't... He didn't play Mask? Why did he play Mask?
Oh no. This puts... Okay, he's like, you know, that was such a risky play.
What in the world?
Maybe he knows the card counts. He's been writing it down. Maybe he knows there's no more possibility for damage to face.
Oh my gosh.
But this is a scary setup, even if he Grimnir's here.
Yes. He's forced to Grimnir here.
Yeah.
He's forced to Grimnir, but Emerald doesn't die to Grimnir. If JaZe draws Hungering Horde, it's over.
Well, he could Baphomet, Mask, and Grimnir all in the same turn, depending on what he draws with Baphomet.
Right, but that doesn't force anything to happen on the board.
Right.
So.
Right, that's just easy trades.
Mm-hmm.
Not playing the Mask last turn.
At least Blood Moon's going away. So JaZe will fall out of Vengeance, meaning Vengeance top decks won't do anything.
Right.
3 cards left. If there's a Hungering Horde in those 3 cards, if there's a Mask Another Saboteur in those 3 cards?
I don't know.
He has to Grimner. You have to Grimner here.
You have to
Grimner.
And it's
he didn't Grimner!
Oh, no.
What?
So he's doing the play. He's got a Grimnir and Mask this turn. He could just Mask and, like, pray.
He can Mask and pass, yeah.
And then just hold the Grimnir for next turn.
Right, because Mask does have 5, which is unfortunately, you know, 1 more than both of these, making them both useless.
Right. But, like, Mask plus Spawn of the Abyss seems like such a good play, too, but he just can't make it.
He can't do it, literally, yeah. And actually, even if he doesn't play the Grimnir out, and Saboteur is played, Grimnir would wipe the whole board, basically.
It depends on how heads up of a trade, JaZe makes. I mean, JaZe, if that Baphomet stays in play, which it
won't. It literally can't.
Yeah, it won't. Then that 4/5 is just going to be
didn't play Grimnir.
that one.
He didn't play Grimnir.
Oh!
Bahamut drawn.
That definitely won't get played right now.
He could.
He could.
Why not?
I highly doubt.
Right? Why not?
This is just face bar the 2/1.
Yeah.
Easy. And then Grimnir will have to come down, but it won't kill the Emeralda. And if JaZe top decks a card, any card that can deal with a 2/3,
right,
he might be a victor immediately, depending on what Lush draws here.
Oh my god, this game, dude.
This is so ridiculous.
JaZe still has 2 cards left too, so he could play Bahamut next turn, and it would have a chance to attack. So, whoa.
I beg your pardon.
So saving the Saboteur, I imagine, just not playing anything here.
Also realizing that, you know, if he has Grimnir, we're going to put the damage on the Odin who would have died anyway. Oh, he's playing Saboteur.
Okay, so doesn't make sense.
Can't go. Yeah, that actually makes no sense. Diabolic Drain drawn.
I still think you have to Grimnir and pray.
This is a Grimnir turn, Lest. I know I've said it every turn, but you have to Grimnir this turn. Please.
Please.
There is nothing else available to you. You have to Grimnir this turn. Do it.
Right. Diabolic Drain will put him back to 4, which is not high enough.
Nowhere near high enough.
He could Diabolic Drain and Grimnir if that's what he wanted to do, but I don't like that play at all.
That puts him at 1, effectively.
Yeah, that's no good.
Well, 2, sorry.
That's just, it's Grimnir and pray. You have to last 2 more turns left. 2 more? Come on, buddy. You have to, he'll eventually see this.
No, that's actually just, that would actually just be lethal because the Bane could just attack Grimnir.
Right.
Yeah, so. Literally Grimnir.
Literally the only play. I think at this point, both players are really just going over what they've seen. Like, they're taking full time just to understand what they need to be doing.
This is 100% of the JaZe's top deck. If it's anything useful, anything at all, really.
What does he have left with 2 cards?
Les feels like it's over.
Ooh.
And it's not over. Saboteur isn't good enough. But Bahamut is good enough.
Bahamut is good enough.
Unless he's actually not dead. No, he has 1 card left. He's got 1 card left, so that's not a ward.
That's not a ward.
It can draw a ward. If he draws a Grimnir off of this, and that can't kill the ward, or the last card in JaZe's decks, he doesn't get it. It's over.
And
it's
Baphomet
over.
Doesn't get anything relevant, right?
He can put enough followers on board, actually.
Okay.
No, actually, no, he can put enough followers on board. And then the Saboteur can only kill the 2/1, but that's still not enough for Bahamut to go face.
Okay, so we're not dead
yet. It's not over yet, because he drew 2 followers he could play. Oh my god. So JaZe's last card has to be good. Has to be Hungering Horde or something. He did it! Revelation!
There it is!
His last card!
I don't even think JaZe knew it was a revelation.
Revelation!
Wow!
What in the world?
Wow!
Are you kidding me?
His last card was Revelation?
What a game.
I can't even.
I can't even right now.
And do you want to know if Lest had won?